So good morning guys. In today's session, we're going to discuss about JavaScript objects. In JavaScript, everything is treated as an object, right? So simply, what is an object here? An object is a collection of properties and methods. That is what technically. So generally, if you can see the dictionary meaning, so an object is a thing, T-H-I-N-G. So my laptop is a thing, my mobile is a thing, my vehicle is a thing, my car is a thing, and everything is going to be a thing. So what is a thing contains? Some properties and some methods. What a property can do? A property, so remember, the state of an object will always depends on the property, and the behavior of an object will always depends on the methods. What is the behavior? I want to say you are a good person. How can I say you are a good person or bad person based on your behavior? Nothing but, so the activities you are doing, the activity is nothing but a function, right? So properties. See, sometimes the functions or methods of logic or maybe depends upon your property. Also, this is nothing but the state of the object, right? And moreover, so in other words, an object is a collection of properties and methods. We written the point here, right? So why should I use object here? First thing. So what is the purpose of an object here, right? Remember, generally in JavaScript, we have a concept called variables. What a variable can do? A variable will always hold only one value at a time. So no, I want to store multiple values in a single variable, right? Then we can go for an object, right? So here an object can hold multiple values as well as arrays also we can use to hold the multiple values. Here array is also an object. I'm saying you everything in JavaScript is an object. So array is also going to be an object, seriously. And how can we, what is exactly, how can we create an object here, right? So in how many ways we can create an object here, right? That's we are going to see. But while creating an object, just remember an object is a key and value pair combination, or people will also call it as a name and value pair combination, right? How we can create an object, we will see. But one thing remember, in JavaScript we have primitive data types like string, number, boolean, and null and undefined. But remember, they are not objects because they don't have any properties and they don't have any methods. For example, hello is a string number. So hello is a string. Can I call it as an object? What is an object here? Object is a collection of properties and methods. But hello string contain any properties and objects here, methods here? No. And 1, 2, 3 is a number. So is it contain any methods and properties? No, it is not. So they are primitive data types. So we can call them as a object guys here. So almost all undefined, number and string and boolean, and we can call them as a primitive data types. So they are not becomes objects. Here, next thing is here, objects creation. Yeah, how can we create an object here, right? So JavaScript is providing some built-in objects. So like an array, string, document object, window object, history object. Later we are going to see this in very details. So that JavaScript is always providing some built-in object as well as we can also create our own objects as well. But to create our own object, we have three ways here. One is by using literal, and one is by using new keyword, and one more by using constructor. Let us see. A literal is nothing but, so it is a key and value pair combination, and with the placed inside curly brackets. Can you see here? So the first thing is here, an object literally is a list of name value pair. So which is going to kept into curly braces. Right? Can you see? I have given two syntaxes here. One is curly brackets, nothing but literal, JavaScript literal, and one more is by using new keyword. By using new keyword also, we can create an object. Let us discuss one by one. So, and third is also constructor. I'll explain you what is a constructor and how can we call a constructor, and what is the advantage of a constructor. See, we have two syntaxes here. So in these two syntaxes, we have one more also. Just now you can see we have one more syntax here by using constructor, but I written these two, and we are going to see the constructor syntax also. This is more better than those two syntaxes. More flexibility is there in the constructor syntaxes. We can create multiple objects by using single syntax, but here we are going to create only one object, and we are keeping into a variable guys. Let us see what is the advantage of a constructor and what is the advantage of these literals and new keyword. We can use anyone here. If an object is very simple, yes, simply we can go with literal. or else we can go with a new object, something like new keyword. Yes, we can use it. And let us see the syntaxes one by one programmatically. So let us open a code. So now I'm going to create an object here. Generally, first of all, let us take a variable here where x equal to 100. How many values I can store in this variable? Only one value. We know that, right? X can hold only one value. Moreover, there is a number. Number is not an object, right? We know if you can write type of is going to be a number. So here, now let me create an object here where obj equal to or new. Sorry, new you can use, or first we can go with the literal here. Yeah, this is literal. What is literal here? A literal is a key value pair combination. Let me use something here, name and value. And remember, this name is nothing but our key. You can take anything here, right? For anything here, name colon the value of the thing. Guys, let me go with some name here. So separated by comma. Each and every pair should separated by comma. Next one is here. You can keep the values either in double quote or single quote, no problem. So always try to follow one case, that is either lowercase or uppercase, whatever it may be, whatever you prefer. Yes, guys, my object is ready. So now I just want to print it, console.log. Can you see earlier the variable is holding only one value, but the object is holding multiple values, right? So let me print the object here. So obj, I'm just printing the object, and you can refresh it and check the output of it. Yes. So now you can go and check in the console. Can you see my output is an object? What does object contain? Object contain three value pair combination, and the prototype of this is an object here, and name, city, and name, city, and subject. This is the array we created. So, and the prototype is also showing that it is a object. But in the same manner, see, if you have any confusion, so whether it is an object or not, just print the console and we will have something called object here. Still you have confusion, you can come expand it and see it is saying that prototype is an object here, right? Yes, guys. Now let us go, and you can print the variable x also here. I'm just printing the variable x here. Can you see what type of variable this is? Yes, this is the variable is number. See, the while printing the output, the way of presentation, object presentation is different, and the variable 100 is different. So otherwise, if you have any confusion still, so you can write a type of keyword, and you can write type of keyword here also, so that we will clearly understand what exactly obj is and what exactly the variable x is here. Can you see? This is an object and this is the number. So number. So why it is a number? So number in the sense, I already told you this is a primitive data type. So primitive data types, we cannot call them as an object. So, and this is an object here, guys. Some primitive data types are there, we can call them as an object, and this is an object. So, and we are checking the types of the variables as well, and this is a number and this is an object, guys, right? So this is how we can create an object, right? And one more way, you can use the same object creation, guys, here. So overall, the same object we can create like this also by using new keyword. Let us see how we can create it, guys. Where obj equal to new object. See here, this object is a predefined object in JavaScript. Object is a predefined. So actually, there is a object in JavaScript. That is, the object is nothing but predefined. An object is an object. What I want to say, array is an object. As well as object is there, that is also an object. So that contains some methods and properties also. We'll discuss those properties and methods of an object, guys, here. Right. So this is an object. So once the object is created, yes, we can go here. Let us have some properties here. So let me add some properties here. Obj dot. You can take name equal to. We can assign like this also, guys, by using new operator. But earlier we followed with literal. So now I'm going with like this, GoPHP and obj dot subject, something like this, equal to some value. What is the value of it here? JavaScript we taken, right? JavaScript. And what is the one more variable we have? City. Let me have the variable, right? And here I'm taking the key as city. City. This is object. So we can create an object like this also, but if you can compare, it is somewhat easier than this, right? Both are same, nothing difference is there. Right here, now you can see, now I'm going to print obj console.log, just you can print the obj here, so you will understand the object is created here. So can you see object, the same values are we are getting here. So earlier we printed this and we are getting the same output. Let me go and let me print this as well here. So I think we can see the both as same. Console.log. This is also obj and this is also obj, guys. Now you can see, and both objects are printed with same values. I mean, whatever the way. So the first way is also valid one, and the second way is also valid one. If you want to create one more object here, so we have to copy it, right? And by using this also, if you want to create one more object, yes, you have to copy it. But the third way is by using constructor is more flexible than these two ways, guys. How it is more flexible? Let me explain you the same here. Let us keep these objects in comment here. Let's go for the third way. Nothing but the third way is nothing but a function. Do you know if in JavaScript a function is also an object? Generally, how we will create a function? Some function. For example, I'm creating a function person. Very nice. So here I'm taking something called f name. So let's have some parameters to this function. F name comma l name comma I'm taking something called age. And you can, if you want, you can take city also, no problem, right? So this is the thing. Guys, see, this is the function. Generally, we will write some logic inside the function, right? And a function, we can use it as a constructor also. The third way is nothing but the constructor, right? So by using this, we can create multiple objects. Whereas, so if you want to create a one more object, what we need to do, we have to copy paste and we have to do the one more object like this. If you want to create 10 objects, I have to repeat the code 10 times. But whereas constructor is going to be somewhat easier than this. And now let us see here. I'm using a keyword called this. Let me have a variable here. So first, first name equal to f name. I'll explain you. Please try to observe here. This dot last name equal to l name. This dot age equal to age. This dot city equal to city. That's it. Object is ready. This is also a way of creating an object. So how can we call this object, sir? You may have some question maybe. Yes, we will see. How can we create an object in the, and how can we create multiple objects also? That's what we are going to see now. Let me create multiple objects now. Father equal to new person, PERSY, person. This is the function, right? So new is an object letter. Nothing but by using new keyword, we can create an object, right? So in the same manner, person is a method which contains 4 properties. Let me have the 4 properties here. So age is a number. Let us have some age here, 30. And let us have some city. So first name and last name. And something called hi. Let us assume like this. Or else you can take some valid name, no problem. Let us go with JavaScript, or else I'm taking something like JavaScript. So GoPHP, something like I'm taking, guys. This is my first name and last name, you pass it. So how can we call them? So this is object, right? So now object is created. So now moreover, the flexibility is here. We can pass multiple values to this object. So one object is created. If you want to create one more object, yes, I can create one more object where you can take MODHER mother equal to new person. So here, so mother name and mother first name, last name, and age, something like 30 or 45, whatever it may be. And here you can take some city, guys, here, same city I'm taking. city will be taken. And number, right? Number maybe in single quote or double quote, or simply you can leave it also empty, no problem. You can take a number like this also, right? So whatever it may be. So you can take any value here. There is no restrictions, there is no rules and regulations. Right here, I'm just passing one more thing here. Hello, and one more is nothing but world, WORLD, something like I pass a value. Now you created multiple objects, but if you want to do the same by using this, you have to use 2 times the literal concept here. But we don't want to use the literal concept here 2 times. So we can create multiple objects in the same manner. If you want to access further values, for example, whatever the values we are having, I want to bind to this div, then what you can do, document dot get element by ID. So get that ID. What is the ID there? We have DATA data. And moreover, I want to tell you how can we access the object values here. I didn't discuss how to access the object values. Then how can we see? 1 minute before going to this way of accessing, let me show you how can we access object values, guys. Here we can access object values always by using the following syntax. So your object dot property. This is the way of accessing. Or we can use one more way. Object, the object and square bracket. In this square bracket, we can pass our property also. This is also valid way of accessing guys. And later we have some methods and property. We have some methods also, and we can use for in and for loop, for in and Foroff loops also to iterate object values and all. And let us see how can we access object values by using object dot property, or we can use the alternative syntax object dot property, object of property in a square bracket. It is nothing but array notation. Yes, we can use the same any one of the syntax here to access the object values. Now, if you can observe the same, what is our object here? My father and father and mother is an object, right? So now how can we access those values here? Can you see after getting those values, you just want to bind this to the div. Inner HTML equal to, you can write something called father dot FIRST, first name. You have to access like this, right? So father dot first name, let's have some space here. So father dot last name, right? From the city, or else you can write the message like this, from the city, FATHR, father dot CITY city. And I'm concatenating all the variables here. His age is father dot age. That's it. Now you can see the output of the div. So what is going to happen? The output. This is how we can access the values. Can you see here? If you can refresh, and we can get the output. JavaScript, GoPHP from. JavaScript is the first name and GoPHP is the last name, from the city Hyderabad. His age is 30, something like this. Or else we can create one more object here. I'm creating one more object here. So this is nothing but a boy. I'm creating an object, boy object here, right? So we can give this as something called Ram. So let us use my last name here. Sorry. So give some age here, something called 30. Yeah, one more object is created here, right? So here, if you want to bind this information to one more ID, let us have an ID called div. ID is nothing but boy. So how can I get this information here? So the same manner. Whatever the information we have here, let me get the same here, right? Simply change the ID boy boy. Can you see this object information is also able to get onto the screen? So now this is further we given here. Sorry, now we have to use boy object, boy dot first name, boy dot last name, and his age and city. Let me show you the same here. This is boy dot age. That's it. Let me refresh it. Now you can see the output of the while Rambaburi from the city Hyderabad is age is 30. Yes, guys. So this is how we can access the object properties, right? This is the way of accessing object properties. And can you see this slide is saying that accessing object values and object iteration, right? For object iteration, we have foreign and Foroff loop. And if you want to extract only the values of an object, we have object.values method. If you want to extract only keys of an array, we have a method called object.keys. Let us see how we can iterate object values. Now, so we are seeing how we can able to access this. You can access this object also. This is the way of creating an object, right? So here we can able to create multiple objects by using one syntax. What is the syntax? Constructor syntax. But if you want to create again father object, mother object, boy object, we have to write these 3 times. So now I want to take this as a father object, mother object, like this I have to take 3 times. But don't worry. So in the same manner, here if you want to go document.write of obj.name. So this is also the way of accessing. And one more thing is I'm printing all the values here, subject, subject. And one more thing is city. This is a way of iteration, object values, right? Let us go and run the file here so that we will understand. Let us refresh the page here. Can you see GoPHP, JavaScript, Hyderabad, all the 3 values I am able to access. And one more thing, did you try? So if you can try with the document.write of obj, so output of this is on the screen is object of object. Can you see? This is an object of type object. So object of type object. So the same object we are using here earlier. So now we are going to see, and this in the slide also you observed 2 methods, object.values, object.keys, right? The same guys. This is the prototype of the object. So you created obj, the type is object, right? The obj data type is object data type, right? So now we are going to see this is. So the iteration process here, how we can iterate, for example, this object contain 3 pairs, so I written the same in 3 ways, I mean 3 times. If you have 10 to 15 pairs, then will you write the same 10 to 15 times? Or 100 pairs are there in an object, will you write this 100 times? No, this is not the correct thing. So how we can make this as a simple, and how we can iterate object values and keys? Let us use foreign and Foroff loop guys here. I'm just to go and write this foreign loop. Foreign and Foroff, both loops are used to iterate objects here. How we can iterate objects? Let us see guys. Now I'm going to write foreign. What is your object? So this is your object. Let me take this as a full word, or you can no worries, any problem. So x in obj, something like, you can take any variable there, not only x. So this should be object. Yes, exactly. What is the name you given for an object? The same thing should be come here. And this variable could be anything. And foreign, in is the part of the syntax. So let me come down and let me print in only x here. I'm going to print console.log x. Let us see what is the value of x here. And I'm refreshing. Just check it. So the value of x is the keys of an object. Only we are getting keys of an object. This is what. Then how can I print all the values here? Simply, if you want to print all the, but earlier we printed like this. This is what we did. But I want to make it very simple. So here, what I'm going to do now. So what is your object? Obj. Obj.x. I'm just using like this. This is a way of accessing object values. Now, what is the x value? X value is the key. So here obj.key1, obj.key2, obj.key3. What is the key one here? Name. And next one is subject. Next one is city. Now what is going to happen? The values of an object is going to be printed, guys. Sorry, undefined. Or else let me use here the square bracket notation. Let me check it here. Sometimes we may got this error here. And check it, guys. Can you see? Now I'm getting. So we have ways to access the object here, right? So while in the loop, I'm using this. So GoPHP, JavaScript, and hardware, we are getting the values. You want to print both here? I mean, if you want to print both here, you can just take X here, concatenate with an equal to symbol. So now you can see key value, key value, key value will come. If you want to bind this information to this particular div in the page, we have a div called data and boy. If you want to bind this, let us see. I'm going to take a variable var txt, something like, you can take any variable, but for this variable, I'm just using here for the concatenation purpose. While concatenating, so any data, just take an empty variable. As can you see now, I want to bind this information to the particular div. First of all, let me get the whole data into a variable txt plus equal to, this is concatenation, right? So now what is going to happen? Loop, we seen just now, this is iterating. So after iterating, what is the value? Name equal to something, subject equal to something, city equal to something, we got it here. The same is going to be concatenated into a single variable. Now I want to append this to the div document dot get element by id. So what is the id? We have data dot inner html equal to, simply you can append this txt. Now we can see on the screen to the div the data was appended, right? So if you want, you can check this carefully. Just I'm clicking on it. Can you see data div, the content was appended into it. So you want to separate them into a paragraph tag. If you want to separate them into a paragraph tag, simply you can append the paragraph tag here. I'm just concatenating. It's all about the beauty of concatenation, right? So let us append paragraph tag open close, and this should be a string, right? String always should be in either double quote or single quote. Now refresh it, everything will be in paragraph now. And you see here div data, and you can see p and 3 paragraph tags are there. And one more thing, you can add one more key here. Let me add one more key, state ts, I'm just adding here. So now you can see and refresh it without changing the logic. All the values of the things are going to be iterated. Now see the ts is coming. I didn't change the logic. I just add a value to my object. But in this situation, if you are using this, what is going to happen? So if object values are increasing, object pairs are increasing, you have tried the same lines, number of lines of color. Now we have 4 values, you have tried the 4 times. If you have 6 values in the object, you have tried 6 times the same way. But what is my loop is doing? So that is the beauty of a loop, guys, here. The loop makes sense, and it is iterating the object values in an easier manner, right? So even still, if you want to add one more thing here, let us go with pin code. And pin code, just I'm taking it as a number. So can you see this is a number I just added? And can you see this is also going to be iterated number, no need to keep into single quote and double quote, right? This is the way of fixing all the values. What is going to happen? This loop is iterating and keep every value into a paragraph tag, and there is appending. Finally, what we are doing here, we are appending the value to the data div. So by using inner HTML property. But in the loop, what we are doing, we are concatenating each and every value. And we're concatenating each and every value, and we're printing the same value. This is the way of iteration. Now, I want to do the same by using Foroff. What a Foroff can do, let me keep this in comment for a while. I just want to go with the Foroff loop here, and let us see how the Foroff loop is going to work. So here you can take a variable x, way of off, and you can take your object. It's the same earlier. So in place of this off, we have in. So now we have Foroff, guys. Let us see and write it. Now observe this carefully. I'm printing the value x here. You may have error here. So we cannot iterable. So obj is not going to be iterable. Some error you will get in the console. Can you see type error? Obj is not iterable. So we can't iterate it. Simply say they are saying an error call. We can iterate it. Then how can we? It is not able to iterable. So then all of you check it carefully. So for example, let me take this as an array. So array means let me have something called 10, 20, 30, 40. Right. Let me check it. So you may see some output here. I'm thinking. So can you see I'm getting 10, 20, 30, 40. I'm getting the values of it because it's an array. Right. So how this is going to work, and now we need to check it. Right. So earlier I taken on an object, but that won't work. But guys, see carefully. I'm taking an object here. What is this? This is an object. Sometimes an array contain multiple objects, guys. Can you see here? This is an array, right? This is an array. So now you can see it is going to be iterated, guys. Now object is coming. Whole object, nothing but if you want to iterate multiple objects from an array. So what an array can hold? An array can hold an object, array can hold a property, array can hold a number or string, anything. Array means don't think it's always numbers. Array can hold anything. Later we will see very brief discussion about arrays also. Right here, this is an array. How many values are there in this object? In this array, we have one value. This is the one value in this array. Yes, this is an array. So array values are separated by comma. Value 1, value 2, value 3, value 4. Like this, we can take multiple values. But to iterate this array values, we can go for Foroff. To iterate the object keys and values, then we can go for foreign, guys. Can you see? This is also iterated. Nothing but simply both methods are for iterating objects only. So array is also an object and the object is also an object. So for iterating. So if you want to get individual values, then so what is going to happen? For example, I have taken some dummy values here. All the same values I taken. Let me prepare some data here. Now I prepared some data here. So the array contains 3 records here, and if you can write the Foroff loop, then you can see your output will be 3 records on the console. Just we are printing on the console. If we want, we can print into the table as well, right? So nothing but, so we can take a HTML table, and to the table also we can bind this information. In the later session, I will show you the same example how we can bind the object data to a table. Also, we can see, guys, here. Now, so this is the way of iteration. So what is this is going to access here? If I print X here, what is going to happen? So actually, this is the first object and second object, third object. All the objects are going to be treated. But this is an array now. This is an array. Always remember, this is an array. Values, right? If you see here, in the same place you can use foreign here, then what you will get, you will get the indexes of the every object. So first index, second index, third index, right? I'm using foreign now. Can you see here we're getting 0, 1, 2. Why? Because 0, 1, 2, this is array contain I have 3 elements, element 1, element 2, element 3. We know array index always starts with 0. That's the reason. I mean, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. This is what the index of an array, because this is an array holds 3 values. So what are the 3 values? Nothing but 3 objects. Every value is an object here, right? So if we can use foreign, we are getting the indexes of an array. Earlier also we've seen the keys of an array, but now this is an object. So in this object we are getting the keys, right? 0, 1, 2, right? So in the same manner, if you can use Foroff, then we are getting the object, each and every object of a OBJ variable. Yes, this is how we can iterate the object values. But remember, in entire JavaScript, an object is king here. So nothing but object will play a key role, guys. This is very important concept for better understanding of upcoming section. But I want to discuss about object.values and object.keys that I will see in the next session, guys. Thank you. We'll meet in